finally, Chainsaw Man is back. Man, it's felt like forever since we had a chapter. And we've moved on to part 2, this time featuring a new character. But let me just talk about the chapter itself and what went down. So, it takes place, what seems like a school? Yeah, it's a school. And we see a headless chicken. His name is Bucky. That is interesting. But it's a devil. And apparently, according to the teacher, it's there to teach students about life and the importance of it. Which is very interesting because somebody in the fandom found out that we actually did have a headless male chicken that existed in real life in the 1940s. It was known as Mike. And it survived for like over a year, 18 months alive without a head. That is actually crazy. And maybe that thing was a devil. But back to the story. Despite the fact that it's supposed to be teaching you about life, the students will eventually have to kill Bucky in the future. Which was probably unknown to Bucky because he kind of freaked out after that. He's like, what the cluck? And anyways, moving past that, we see a girl who we know as Mitaka. And from what we can tell, she doesn't like anyone. She's looking at the students, well, her classmates, and she's just saying die. She gives everyone a horrible glare, and she just walks away. She doesn't like being around her own classmates, going as far as saying that, she wants them to drop dead, and then she doesn't like being close to them. She doesn't like seeing any of them by the bathroom. She just doesn't like seeing any students. Then, afterwards, we see her on top of the building, and the student council president shows up, trying to consult her. And if you notice here, it says that she's eating a Chainsaw Man bun. So if you remember the events of the end of part 1, Denji, or I guess rather Chainsaw Man, became a hero and is respected upon. And it's hard to say how much time has passed since part 1. I would like to say maybe like a year or 2, but I can't say. I can't tell. But yeah, it seems like the buildings are being reconstructed and, illegally constructed. And things have not been easy for a lot of the citizens here in Japan. And especially for Mitaka. Anyways, moving past that, we know that Mitaka doesn't really care for the chicken at all. But to her surprise, her classmates decided that they wanted Bucky to live. And funny enough, that's what the teacher wanted originally. So the chicken is pardoned. Then everyone starts to, cheer and be really happy, and some of the students even cry. They're like, oh my god, thank god he's alive. Then afterwards they go out in recess, and they're having fun, with the exception of Mitaka. And she's just, standing by the side. Then the class pres tries to cheer her up. And then this is where the chapter caught me off guard a little bit. So the chicken approaches Mitaka, and this is where we actually get an introduction to her name, which is Asa Mitaka. And then, he's asking her to play soccer, and then she trips and falls on the chicken, and it's dead. It just has blood and guts all over her, and it's just really gross. Which, at first kind of caught me off guard when I first read it, not by the end of it, but like while I was live reading. I was like, she just tripped and fell on it. How the hell did it die like that? Like, I know it's a weak devil because, not many people are really afraid of chickens, but it's really weird to see, like, it just died like that because, this isn't JoJo. It's not like a single touch is going to have someone bleed and die. But, yeah, I was really caught off guard by it, and so are the students. Everyone's just crying, they're throwing up, they're freaking out, and they're just downright sad about what just happened. Meanwhile, Mitaka just, throws up. Guess Fujimoto still likes having his characters throw up. But yeah, moving past that, Mitaka is just really miserable about everything, especially with the fact that Bucky was even given a grave. And then once she returns to class, everyone just starts looking at her, and she just wants to die. Then afterwards, we see that, the class pres and her teacher show up to have her visit Bucky's grave. But while they were trying to get there, we see the class pres starts to, transform, and we find out that she made a contract with the devil, the Justice Devil, and we see how upset she is with Mitaka because, her teacher, Mr. Tanaka, apologized about Bucky's death on her behalf. He's the reason she's even friends with him in the first place, and then you just find out that he's obsessed with her. Then afterwards, she transforms, and then she tries to, fight against Mitaka. Well, not even fight, just try to kill her right there and then. And she tries to escape, and then she just trips and falls, and then boom. Like right there, the second before she's about to get hit and die, she just feels calm, because she's like, oh, none of that is my fault. she was jealous of me. If I had found that out sooner, I would have had friends or maybe even a boyfriend. And then we see her just dying, laying in the ground. And then boom, Gritty shows up out of nowhere trying to make a contract with Mitaka. Alright, let me stop. Some weird fuzzy devil shows up out of nowhere offering to make a contract with Mitaka. And she's like, who? And she stands back up, grabs her teacher's head, makes it into a sword, and fights against the class president. And then she's like, my name is War Devil, die for my warm-up kill. I was like, god damn. Also, can we appreciate the art? Fujimoto still has it, man. This shit looks really clean. Like, this fight is insane. She takes off one of her hands, and she's like, I'll take that. Boom, hand grenade. Fujimoto still as creative as ever. She just tosses that shit, cuts her up, and then, she gets one final kiss with Mr. Tanaka, the vice president, I mean. And then, boom, explosion. And she just walks away, just like Goodbye Eddie, the one dude who walked away from the explosion. Fujimoto really likes making homages to his previous works. I guess his newer ones. But yeah, then we reach the end, and she's like, just you wait, Chainsaw Man. I'll make you vomit nuclear weapons back up. I was like, god damn. And that's it for this chapter. So far, really good. I enjoyed it for the most part. I'm really excited to see what Fujimoto does with Mitaka, because I'm sure everyone's noticed the similarities and differences between Mitaka and Makima from like the first chapter of Chainsaw Man Part 1 and the first chapter of Part 2. So like based on the knowledge that we know from Part 1, especially looking back at Chapter 1, Makima, she loved Chainsaw Man and she would do anything for him. And here we see with Mitaka that she doesn't like Chainsaw Man and she actually wants to kill him. So we have like a contrast between the both of them. One is love and one is hate. But the difference is, with Makima, she only loved Chainsaw Man. She didn't really care about Denji whatsoever. And I guess the same could be applied here with Mitaka. She wants to kill Chainsaw Man. She doesn't really give a shit about Denji. She's just gonna go after him. She wants the devil, but obviously he's a part of, Denji, so she's going after him. So, really interesting stuff. I think the difference here, though, is Makima was seen like as a villain. And, of course, Mitaka is seen as a villain now, too, because she's chasing after Chainsaw Man. But I think the difference between the two is Makima ended up, perishing. Well, I'll say perishing. Denji ate him. They ate her, I mean. And she never really saw Denji for who he was. But I feel like maybe in Part 2, Mitaka will. She'll be able to see Denji for who he is. And maybe she'll, end up just accepting him and ending the pursuit to try to kill him. I think that would make for an interesting end to Part 2. But we all know Fujimoto is really unpredictable, so that's just a theory I have for now. But yeah, either way, I had fun reading the chapter. It's a really good beginning to Chainsaw Man Part 2, and I'm really excited to read it weekly again. But yeah, what did you guys think? I wasn't really planning to make a Chainsaw Man chapter review because I've never done it before. But I really do like Chainsaw Man, and I'm willing to do more of this if you guys want. And, yeah, just let me know. And let me know what you guys think about the chapter. Just leave it in the comments below. I'm down for, any discussions or any theories you got for Part 2. But, yeah, that'll do it for me for now. Just looking forward to more Chainsaw Man. But until then, I'm gonna head out. Peace out, everyone.